Welcome to quantitative aptitude video on word problems on numbers from careerwrite.com. Placement test, job interviews, MBA, bank and all other entrance exams always have 3 to 4 sums from this topic. Today we are going to see how to handle these sums and how to quickly solve them and score in this easy topic. You can even practice quantitative aptitude on careerwrite.com, which has 1000+ practice questions, and also take the practice test over there. So let's get started. Before starting, an important note regarding problems on numbers. They are easy to solve and the only thing needed is to focus on what the question is. If you read the question carefully, if you understand the question, you'll easily get the equation and you'll then easily find the answer. So let's begin. Question number 1. The sum of two numbers is 36 and their product is 248. What will be the sum of their reciprocals? Now over here, let the two numbers be say A and B. What they're given, sum of two numbers is 36 and product is A into B, 248. They have asked what is the sum of their reciprocals. So reciprocal of A is 1 by A plus reciprocal of B is 1 by B. So we need to find the answer to this. What do we get? AB is the LCM, you will have AB over here, you will have A over here. This is nothing but the sum of the two numbers. So we will have 36 divided by 248. That would be 2 into 18, 2 into 1, 2, 4. Then here we have 9, here we have 6, 2. Okay, 9 by 62. So sum of their reciprocals is 9 by 62. See how easy these problems are. If you pay attention to the numerical or the question, then you can easily solve these sums. Moving to question number 2. In a poultry farm having hens and pigs, Rohan can see 84 heads and 282 legs. How many hens are there? Now this is a favorite kind of sum of any exam. They generally ask, they give you the number of heads and legs and they ask you how many animals are there. Okay, now over here let the hens be, number of hens be H and let the number of pigs be P. Now a hen has 1 head and 2 legs, okay, and a pig has 1 head and 4 legs, right? Now what they are saying is that Rohan can see 84 heads. That means total number of hens plus pigs is nothing but 84, right? So this is our first equation. Now there are 282 legs. Now let the number of hens be H. So what are the total number of legs of hens? That would be 2H, right? And let the number of pigs be P. So how many legs are there of all the pigs total? So that would be 4P. And total number of legs is 282, right? So this is our second equation. Now what we want, how many hens are there? So if you want the number of hens, in both these equations we have two unknowns, H and P. P stands for pigs, H for hens. So let's eliminate P. How to eliminate P? Multiply equation 1 by 4. What do we get? We get 4H plus 4P equal to 84 into 4. 84 into 4. 4 4s are 16, 4 8s are 32, 33, 336. Okay, this is equation 3. Now we can 336 is greater than 282. So equation 3 minus equation 2. Okay, so what do we get? We have 4H plus 4P minus 2H minus 4P equal to 336 minus 282. That would be, this gets cancelled. We have 2H equal to 6 minus 2 is 4, 13 minus 8 is 5, 2 minus 2 is 0. So H equal to 27. So number of hens are 27. Going to question number 3. Summation of 5 consecutive numbers is found out to be 335. If we add the largest and smallest number, what will we get? Okay, now over here, what do we mean by consecutive numbers? Consecutive numbers are nothing but like numbers which come one after other, like 11, 12, 13, 14. These are consecutive numbers. Or another example you can take as say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are consecutive numbers. Okay, because they come one after the other. Now, over here, take a look at a small trick that would be useful for solving this sum as well as useful in other topics of quantitative aptitude also. If this is the first number, 5, okay, how is 6 written? 5 plus 1. How is 7 written? 5 plus 2. How is 8 written? 5 plus 3. How is 9 written? 5 plus 4. How is 10 written? 5 plus 5, right? So, if we assume that the 5 consecutive numbers are x, next one would be x plus 1. This is the first consecutive number. This is the second. This is the third. This is the fourth. And this is the fifth. So, we will have first, second, third, fourth and fifth. These are 5 consecutive numbers. And they have given their summation is 335. So, add them, right? Adding them, what do we get? 335, right? That would be 5x plus 10 equal to 335. 5x equal to 325 and x would be equal to 65. So, the first number is 65, second 66, 67, 68 and this is 69. Okay. So, largest is 69, smallest is 65. So, when we add both, what do we get? 65 plus 69, that would be 9 plus 5 is 14, 1, 6, 6, 12, 13, 134. Moving on. Question number 4. Since Raj was not paying attention in class, instead of multiplying m by 3 by 4, he divided by 3 by 4. This led to a difference of 14 between the two answers. What is the value of m? Again, this is very easy. Just look at the question, pay attention to the question and you will be able to solve the numerical given over here. Now, Raj was supposed to multiply m by 3 by 4. Instead of that, what he did? He simply divided m by 3 by 4. Right? And what happened because of that? It led to a difference between both the answers as 14. So, when you subtract both the numbers from each other, you get the answer as 14. So, that would be 3m upon 4 minus 4m upon 3, that would be equal to 14, right? So, let's take the LCM. 3 4s are 12, right? So, 3 3s are 9m minus 4 4s are 16m would be equal to 14, right? What we'll get over here, we'll solve over here, okay? Now, 9m minus 16m, that would be equal to minus 7m upon 12 equal to 14, 7, 2s are m equal to minus 24. Now, do not consider the minus sign over here. The value of m will be 24. Why? Because what they have given is that the difference was 14. They never said, they wanted here the difference to be 14 and not minus 14. Here, we subtracted the greater number from the lower number. This was the greater one, this is the lower one. That is the reason we got the minus sign. Had we done m upon 3 by 4 minus m into 3 by 4, we would have got m equal to 24, right? So, the answer 24 is more important than the minus sign. So, neglect the minus sign and consider the answer to be 24. Now, in exam, if they give the same question and in options if they give minus 24 and 24, always stick 24, okay? Because they just said difference of 14 between the two answers. They never said that the difference is minus or plus. The difference or the gap between two numbers is 14. So, whenever they give two such options, at such times you need to check 24. And before clicking on 24 or selecting 24, check if there is an option of either A, say this is option A and this is option B, and check out if there is an option of either A or B, okay, or A, okay. If it is A or B, check that because both the answers are valid. Raman has 2 urns. Both these urns have some pebbles. If 20 pebbles from urn B are shifted to urn A, then the number of pebbles in each urn become interchanged. But if 10 pebbles from urn A are put into urn B, then number of pebbles in B are twice the number in A. How many pebbles do A and B have respectively? Again, very easy. Let us assume that both the urns are nothing but urn A and urn B. Raman has urn A and urn B. Let the number of pebbles initially, okay, at the start, now let the number of pebbles in urn A be A and in urn B be B. This is the number of pebbles in urn B, this is the number of pebbles in urn A. What they say, if 20 pebbles from urn B are shifted to urn A, so we are taking 20 pebbles and putting it over here, okay, 20 pebbles. So how much remains in urn B? B minus 20, correct? Now what they say, once that is done, once you shift 20 pebbles to urn A, the number of pebbles in each urn become interchanged. That means if initially it was A and B, then now on shifting B will have A number of pebbles, right? Because interchanged, and A will have B number of pebbles. So A number of pebbles would be equal to B minus 20, right? The number of pebbles in urn B would be equal to the number of pebbles in urn A, that is nothing but A. So B minus 20 would be equal to A. Or we can write B minus A equal to 20. This is our first equation, right? Now, what is the second condition? But. So that means we will not consider this condition. Now a new condition is they have given without considering any old thing. But if 10 pebbles from A are put into B, so 10 pebbles are removed from A, okay, and they are put into B. So B will be B plus 10. Then the number of pebbles in B are twice the number in A. So twice the number in A, okay, is equal to B plus 10. That means number of pebbles in B are twice the number of pebbles in A. So what we will get over here? 2A minus 20 equal to B plus 10. So that would be 2A minus B equal to 30. This is our second equation. Now when we add 1 plus 2, what do we get? B minus A plus 2A minus B would be equal to 20 plus 30. B gets cancelled. 2A minus A equal to 50. So A has 50 pebbles. So how much would B have? B would be B minus 20 equal to 50. This is our equation 1, right? This equation which is there, B minus 20 equal to A. We'll put value of A over here. So B minus 20 equal to A. So how much will B have? B will be simply 70. So number of pebbles in B are 70, number of pebbles in urn A are 50. Question number 6. On exchanging the digits in units and tens place, the difference between original and new numbers becomes 27. The digit in the units place is 2 times the digit in the hundreds place. The digit in the tens place is 3 times the digit in the hundreds place. What is 75% of the original number? Again, pretty easy one. Over here they have given units place, tens place and hundreds place. That means the number has to be a 3-digit number. Let us take an example of a 3-digit number, like say 347. Okay, this is the hundreds place, this is the tens place, and this is the units place. Now 347 can be written as 300 plus 40 plus 7, right? So this is nothing but 3 into 100 plus 4 into 10 plus 7 into 1. So hundreds place, tens place and units place, right? So any number can be always be written in this format, right? So let us assume that our 3-digit number is X, Y and Z. This is the hundreds place, okay? Instead of X, Y, Z, let's keep it easy and take it H, T and U. So this is hundreds place, this is tens place and this is units place. So let us express this number in this format, okay? This format. So what would it be? H into 100, just like we had 3 into 100, okay? So right here the number, instead of 347 we have HTU, right? So we'll have H into 100 plus T into 10 plus U into 1, right? So this is the number, this is our original number. Now let's see what have they given. Let's see the conditions. They have given that the digit in the units place, okay, is 2 times the digit in the hundreds place, and digit in the tens place is 3 times the digit in the hundreds place. Let's substitute these values over here. What do we get? We get 100H plus 30H plus 2H, that would be 132H. This becomes our original number, right? This is the original number. Now what they say, On exchanging digits in units and tens place, that means what happens is that over here, if our original number is 100h plus 10t plus u, this comes over here, this goes over here, and what will we get then? 100h plus 10u plus t. Now again substitute the value of u and t over here. What do we get? 100h plus u is 2h, so 20h plus 3h, that would be 123h. Okay, this is our new number. Now they are saying the difference between original and new number is 27. So 132h minus 123h is equal to 27. So that would be 7 plus 2, h 9h equal to 27. So h would be equal to 3. Value of h is 3. So now what is the value of u? U is nothing but 2h, 2 3s are 6, and t is nothing but 3h, right? So 3 into 3 is 9. So what is our original number? Original number is HTU, right? Our original number is HTU. So what would be? H is 3, T is 9, and U is 6, right? This becomes our original number. But this is not our answer. What do we want? 75% of the original number. Let's calculate it over here. 75% of original number, that is 396. 75% of 396. So 75 upon 100 into 396. 25 3s are, 25 4s are, right? 4 9s are 36. 4 9s are 99 into 3. What is the answer? 3 9s are 27. 3 9 27. 29 297. So our answer is 297. 75% of the original number is 297. Question number 7. In an area, 2% families have 5 children each, but 8% have no children at all. Amongst the rest of the families, 18% have 4 children and 27% have only 1 child. How many families live in the area if 297 families have either 2 or 3 children each? Now this may look like a very difficult sum, but actually it is not. It is pretty easy if you know how to approach it. For such sums where we do not know where to start exactly, let us start with a very easy concept, and that is nothing but let us assume that the total number of families be 100. Okay, let there be 100 families living in the area. Now what they say, 2% families have 5 children and 8% families have no child at all. What do we want to find? Total families which live in the area, and a number is given 297. It is related to either 2 or 3 children, right? So now 100 families are there, 2% have 5 children, 8% have no children, so that is 10% total, right? So 10% families have either 5 children or no children, right? We add both of these. So how many are remaining families? 100% minus 10% would be 90%, right? 90% families remain. 90% families have either 1 child, 2 child, 3 child or 4 children. Okay, 1 child, 2 children, 3 children or 4 children, right? So what is 90% of 100 families? That would be 90 families, right? Now next, these are the rest of the families. Now amongst the rest of the families, that is amongst the 90 families, 18% have 4 children and 27% have only 1 child. So how much is this? This is total 45%. So 45% of 90 families, okay, 45% of 90 families have either 4 children or only 1 child, right? 4 children or 1 child, correct? So how many families remain now? 100% minus 45% is nothing but 55%. 55% out of 90 families have either 2 or 3 children, right? Because 45% have 1 or 4 child. Out of the 90 families, 45% families have 4 children or 1 children. So 55% but obvious would be having 2 children or 3 children. What is 55% of 90? That is 55 upon 100 into 90. That would be cancelling out. 5 11s are, 5 2s are, okay, 1199 divided by 2 equal to 4, 49.5. families. So 49.5 families have 2 or 3 children. Now what they have given is that when we take 100 families, we get 49.5 families with 2 or 3 children, correct? But right now they have given that there are 297 families in total that have 2 or 3 children. So for how many families will we get 297 families as 2 or 3 children? Now for 100 families, if we get 49.5 families having either 2 or 3 children, then for how many families will 297 families have either 2 or 3 children? Simply cross multiply. This is very easy. So what do we get? We get 297 into 100 divided by 49.5 equal to question mark. So let's see, divide by 5, 5 9s are 9.9s are 5, 2s are 20s are. Now let's divide by 3, we get 3.3. Here we'll have 3 9s are 27, 27 99, 11 9s are 11, 0.3s are. So what do we get over here? 3 again, 3 into 0.1, 3 into 3. So we'll have over here, okay, question mark, 60 upon 0.1, that would be equal to 600 families. So 600 families in total live in the area. When 600 families live in the area, 297 families will have 2 or 3 children as per the given condition. When 100 families live, 49.5 families have either 2 or 3 children, and when 600 families live, 297 families have 2 or 3 children as per given condition. Going to question number 8. 3/4 part of a tank is full of water. When 30 liters of water is taken out, it becomes empty. The capacity of the tank is, now what they say, there is a tank, okay, this is the tank and 3/4 of it is filled with water. Now they take out 30 liters of water, right? And what happens is that tank becomes completely empty. So what does that mean? This amount of water which is there, that is nothing but 30 liters, because everything is because when do we get an empty tank? When everything is removed. Here they removed 30 liters and we got the empty tank, right? This is empty. So this tank is nothing but having 30 liters of water. That means 3/4 part of a tank means 30 liters of water. Okay. Now if we have a chapati like this, okay, this chapati is considered one whole. This becomes half chapati, right? What is this? This becomes 1/4 chapati. What is this? This part, this is 3/4 chapati. So that way, if 3/4 tank is 30 liters, what is the whole chapati, or how much is the whole tank, right? Simply cross multiply. What do we get? We get this into 3/4 equal to 30 into 1, 3, 10 question mark equal to 40 liters. So capacity of the tank is 40 liters. Going to question number 9. A group wanted to renovate their club. Each member contributed an amount equal to twice the number of members of the club. But the government contributed same amount as the number of members. If each member had contributed the same amount as the number of members and the government had given an amount twice the number of members, then they would have rupees 210 less. How many members are there? Now this looks like a very lengthy sum and very difficult and very tricky, but it is pretty easy. Just read line to line, okay, and let's see how to solve it. Now we do not know number of members. Let us assume that the number of members are m. Now here there are two cases, right? If they did this way and if they did that way, and then we have to solve it. Now let us say what is the first case. What do they say? If each member contributed an amount equal to twice the number of members. So each member means total number of members are m, and contributed the amount twice the number of members into 2m. So this is the total amount of money collected by the members, okay? Each member is contributing the amount equal to 2 times the number of members, okay? Plus, how much does the government give? Government contributes same amount as the number of members, that is m rupees. So how much you will get? That is 2m square plus m is the amount of money, rupees is the amount of money contributed in the first case, okay? Now second case, what do they say? In second case, if each member had contributed same amount as the number of members. So number of members are m and each of them contributed m rupees. Okay, and government contributed twice the number of members. So that is 2m. How much would we get? We would get m square plus 2m, this much rupees. And what they say is that in the second case, they would have 210 rupees less. That means the first case the amount collected is more. So 2m square plus m minus m square plus 2m is nothing but 210. So what would we get over here? 2m square minus m square is m square. M minus of 2m would be minus m minus 210 equal to 0. Now this is a quadratic equation. We have to find the factors such that the product is 210 and the sum is minus m. Only one factor group, that is 15 and 14, satisfy the condition. So what do we get over here? M square minus 15m plus 14m minus 210 equal to 0. So m minus 15 is one factor, m plus 14 is another factor equal to 0. Now m plus 14 equal to 0. If you do m plus 14 equal to 0, so m would be equal to minus 14. So that is not possible because number of members cannot be minus. So this is wrong. So what do we have? M minus 15 equal to 0. So m equal to 15. So number of members are 15. Now in exam, if there are 4 to 5 options given, okay, another way of solving this is, what you can do is you can take one option, option A, okay, and check it for both these conditions and see if the difference is 210. If not, go to option B. You can do that way also. If you feel that by doing that way you can solve it faster, you can do it that way. If you feel that you are more comfortable with quadratic equation, solving a quadratic equation and finding the factor, you can go by the second way. Moving on. Question number 10. Two-digit number A is found by reversing the digits of B. B is 45 less than A. Sum of the digits of B is 9. What is A? Again, this is like the 3-digit number which we saw. Let us assume that the number B which is there, which is a 2-digit number, it is nothing but say T and U. Why TU? This is the tens place and this is the units place. Just like we had for a 3-digit number over here, we saw 3-digit number, we had HTU, we assumed HTU, hundreds place, tens place, units place. Same way, we'll have here TU. Okay, so how can this TU be written? 10 into T plus U into 1. So 10T plus U, and A is found by reversing the digits. So it would be U and T. This would become the tens place now and this would become the units place now. How is A written? It would be U into 10 plus T into 1. That is nothing but 10U plus T, this is U, 10U plus T, this is A, this is B. Now they have given sum of digits of B is 9. So T plus U equal to 9. This is our first equation. They have also given that B is 45 less than A. What is B? B is 10U plus 10T plus U. It is 45 less than A. What is A? 10U plus T and 45 less. When we subtract 45 from A, we get B. What do we get over here? 10T plus U equal to 10U plus T minus 45. That would be 9T minus 9U equal to minus 45. T minus U equal to minus 5. This is our second equation. Okay. Now what to do? What we'll do is we'll add first and second equation. Let's solve it over here at the bottom. 1 plus 2. So we get T plus U plus T minus U equal to 9 minus 5. U gets cancelled. 2T equal to 4 and we get T equal to 2. So T we got as 2. So how to find U? Simply put this into this equation, value of T into this equation. You get, what do we get? We get over here 2 minus U equal to minus 5. That is U equal to 7. So the value of A is UT. 72. 72 is the value of A. What is the value of B? 27, exactly opposite. But here we need only value of A. Now in exam you might be given 4 options. Okay, like A, B, C, D and sometimes E also, that cannot be determined, or none of the above, like that. So what you can do is you can simply take the 2-digit numbers given over here and check for the above condition. So that can be a bit much easier. But if there is no if there are no options given, then this is the way to go. This is the easiest method and quickest method to solve it. Okay, moving on to next question. Question number 11. 280 oranges are divided among some boys and girls whose total number is 50, so that each boy gets 5 oranges and each girl gets 7 oranges. The number of girls is again very easy. Let the total number of boys be B and total number of girls be G. They are given total number of girls plus boys is 50. This becomes first equation. Now each boy gets 5 oranges. So totally all the boys get how many oranges? Simply 5B. Now each girl gets 7 oranges. So totally all the girls have how many oranges? 7G. And total number of oranges are 280. And they are divided totally completely amongst boys and girls. So 5B plus 7G is 280. This is the second equation. Now let us find the number of girls. So we want G, value of G. So let's eliminate B. How to eliminate B? Multiply equation 1 by 5. We get 5. Why 5? Because here we have 5 and we want to eliminate B. So 5B plus 5G equal to 250. This is equation 3. Now 280 is greater than 250. So equation 2 minus equation 3. What do we get? 5B plus 7G minus 5B minus 5G equal to 280 minus 250. So we get, this gets cancelled. 7G 2G equal to 30. G equal to 15. Number of girls is 15. See how easy word problems on numbers are. This is a very scoring area. So if you practice a little bit, you will be able to solve all the sums and get pretty good marks and increase your score. This would give you an advantage in exam. So always practice these sums and do not leave them for option. With this, we come to the end of this video. If you like it, please give it a like, share it with your friends and leave your comments and suggestions in the comment box. You can even tell us about any specific videos that you would like us to develop for you. We would be rolling out more such videos and tutorials, so subscribe to our channel and stay updated.